I came back to New York and I couldn't keep going to the same yoga classes I was going to anymore. They didn't feel like yoga to me anymore. And I just started doing self-practice completely. And what I teach now comes out of that self-practice that I was doing. It's a vinyasa practice, but it's slower and it's breath-centered. The technical distinction is that we're using really specific breathing. It's called Ujjayi Pranayama, ocean breathing, and it is a regulation of breath. And it's essentially homeopathic muscle relaxant antidepressant. Like you can just sit in a chair and do this breathing for a little while and it'll make you feel better. But then the moving of the body and the working of the body, it goes to the breathing. And in almost all yoga classes, they say inhale and exhale, but the breath isn't usually central. Like you're moving and you're working a body position and then maybe you're breathing. But what we're doing here is we're making the breath first. And then whatever you're doing with your body organizes around that. And then the other part of that is more philosophical, which is that, in my opinion, what makes it yoga practice is that the exercises are intended to encompass more than physicalities. And I'm very pragmatic about that. I'm not like a real new agey guy. We are doing physicalities. We're making our body strong and flexible, but the way you go about doing it is also a practice of thought and behavior. So it's not like when you're training for a marathon. You know, when you're training for a marathon, it doesn't matter how you feel. You just got to power through. You got to be ready for the race. That's where no pain, no gain comes from. But in the yoga practice that I'm teaching, there's no race, you know? We're just seeing if we can feel better and enjoy life now. And in that context, there needs to be a different mentality around how we're working our bodies. You know? The day you feel good, that's the day you would do more, because it feels good on that day and you get a benefit. But on the day you're not doing so good, maybe even just like emotionally, you don't ignore that and just power through. Because if you do that in yoga, that's when you hurt yourself. So yoga kind of holds you to account in a way, in my experience. You have to be honest with yourself about how you're doing so that you can then work accordingly. And knowing how you're doing is the hard part, but I think that's what the practice is intended to teach. You know, like knowing how you feel puts you in a position to know what's right for you to do, you know. If you don't know how you feel, how are you going to make that determination, you know? You're not. It's just going to happen by default, and hopefully it's good, or maybe it's not, and then you got to deal, you know. But yoga practice is a way of really kind of taking hold of the wheel, you know. You steer the ship, and it's very empowering that way, you know. Like I feel like now, life can present whatever life wants to present me. And I feel capable of managing and handling whatever it is. And I got that from yoga practice. I don't know where else you get it. You know, you got to have some vehicle for it. And I'm sure many people do. I have this, like, I know somebody who's like a farmer. You know what I mean? Like, I think you could get it from farming or something, you know, maybe. I don't know. But for me, I haven't found anything else that was able to do what yoga practice has done for me. So it's a passion.